Đến Việt Nam cách đây hơn 9 năm trong một hợp đồng làm việc ngắn hạn, nhiếp ảnh gia người Na Uy Mads Monsen đã phải lòng một người con gái Việt Nam xinh đẹp và quyết định chọn nơi đây làm quê hương thứ hai của mình. Ngoài việc chụp ảnh cho các ấn phẩm, tạp chí quảng cáo trong và ngoài nước, chàng trai dễ mến này còn giúp vợ phát triển một công ty riêng chuyên về tổ chức sự kiện. Mỗi bức ảnh của Mads Monsen đều truyền tải tình yêu rất đặc biệt của anh đối với con người Việt Nam, không chỉ qua các bức ảnh chụp cầu kỳ trong công việc hàng ngày, mà còn trong cả những khoảnh khắc đời thường. Qua ống kính chuyên nghiệp và tinh tế ấy, Mads còn có những dự định ấp ủ của riêng mình đối với đất nước Việt Nam.
Hello, and it's good to see you again on FBNC in Vietnam and Me program. And today, it's my pleasure to welcome Mr. Mads Monsen,
hello,
a photographer coming from the way. Hi, Mads.
Hi.
Thanks for coming, man.
Thanks for inviting.
Thank you. So, Mads, so what brought you to photography? Had you ever thought you're going to be a photographer?
Well, not initially.
Okay.
Photography was just something that sort of happens to be my chosen career on the way.
So what happened?
That's a long story actually. Basically, I was doing like media courses back in Norway, and then being introduced to photography, just having it as a hobby. I had friends of mine that were more into photography than what I were at that time, and I sort of just kept it on the sideline. It was just a fun thing to do.
Okay.
And then my career plan was either like banking or becoming a lawyer.
Really? A lawyer?
Yeah.
And then you switched back to photography.
Yeah. So I started out majoring in economics, and then started uni, and I got introduced to this student newspaper.
Okay.
And they needed photographers, and I started taking pictures.
Photo was just a hobby, and then you realized you like it.
I started to like it more and more.
Okay.
And at that time, after working for the student newspaper for a while, then I wanted to learn more about photography and more about arts. So I changed. I never went to law school. I started studying art history instead.
Okay.
So,
it's a big change.
Yeah, quite a change. And then I managed to seek out a commercial photographer and secure an apprenticeship. So I was studying photography.
So you learned from a photographer?
Yeah, I learned from a photographer. I underwent like the old-fashioned way, where you work and you study with a photographer.
But did you actually go to school and try to learn more about photography in school?
They did have a school for theory. Okay. So once a week you would go and you would learn like the technical bit. And then the rest of the week you would then work with a photographer.
Okay.
And
learn from the job.
Yeah, learn on the job. And also the photographer is responsible to teach you. So you worked, well, I worked with, at that time, it was all film-based, so like 35mm, medium format, up to large format. So large format is like technical camera.
Okay.
So more advanced, you can do more things with that. It's interesting.
So how did you end up in Vietnam?
Before coming to Vietnam, I went to London.
Is that for a job?
No, I went and I wanted to study more.
Okay.
So I went to London to study more about photography, but it was too basic what I could offer. So in the middle of my first year, I swapped. So I started at St. Martin's and studied graphic design instead.
Okay. So that was your original degree in graphic design.
Yeah, so I got dual education, first photography and then graphic design.
From St. Martin in London?
From St. Martin's in London.
Okay.
And after graduating in London, I stayed on. I worked both as a graphic designer and a photographer. So I was doing that for 2 years. And then, through my old college, the school board, they had a British company offering a job in Vietnam.
Really?
So, yeah, for a graphic designer.
But at that time, you have no idea about Vietnam?
Not really.
Okay.
Not much.
Tell me about your impression, the first impression when you first came here.
Motorbikes.
Motorbikes? A lot.
Endless stream
crowded.
of motorbikes. Yeah. And a completely different language. when people were talking, it just went. I couldn't differentiate the different words.
Okay, but is that getting better now?
An endless stream. Now it's good. Now I can.
You can actually recognize and understand
it. So that's good.
So you've been here for how long? For 9 years, right?
9 years now.
So the early days in Vietnam, what seemed to be the most difficult thing for you when you tried to get adapted to the new cultures or a new working environment, especially in the photographer industry?
Okay, when I first came here, it was not as a photographer, but as a graphic designer.
Okay.
And at that time, okay, and it was the culture shock of just so many motorbikes.
Okay.
It seems like there's no system to the traffic, but it actually is. Second was the heat and the humidity.
You're from the region, you're from the northern Europe.
Yeah, so
the weather must be so hot, right?
It was really hot.
Oh man, I can imagine.
So now it's okay because now I'm
getting used to it.
I'm used to it. So now it's good. But at that time it was really hot, and also I was, as a graphic designer, most graphic designers, they work on a Macintosh, on Macs.
The Mac computer.
And nobody had Macs here.
At that time?
At that time.
Okay.
They had one at the company only to test. Normally it's opposite. All the design agencies.
So you don't have enough equipment to support your job at that time?
Yeah, then I would say that my most important tools would be pen and paper.
Okay.
And from that you sketch out ideas.
Mm-hmm.
It takes me on a piece of paper and a pen. I can sit and I can sketch, and I can have like 20 ideas.
Try to be creative and come up with new ideas.
Yes, I can really sketch out a lot of things and go through. And if I'm doing that on a computer, you tend to focus too much about details, and suddenly you spend like half an hour and you're still working on your first sketch.
Okay.
While out of 5 minutes you have 15, 20 different directions, and you think, okay, maybe this, and maybe this. So you can sort of work much faster.
So at the time when you got hired to come here and work, with that original contract for a long period or just short time?
Okay, initially in London they were looking for people to come only for 3 months.
It's only for 3 months?
Yes.
So but then what kept you here until now?
When I went for the interview, they extended the offer. They gave me an offer of 1 year.
Okay.
And with the option to renew. So I came here and
when you finished,
with the intention to stay for a year, because the company I was working for in London, they kept the door open for me. So they said, okay, you go to Vietnam, you have a great year, lots of new experiences. When you come back, give us a call and
get a new job waiting for you in London. So it's kind of secure already.
So it was really, really secure, and I had nothing to lose.
Okay, let's take a quick break, and we come back after a few minutes with the second part of the show.